My best friend moved in with me, but turned out to be the worst roommate.
Out.
You're cast out.
You're cast out.
Recently, my fiance, 29 male, and I, 28 female, have been living with our roommates, Nikki, 29 female, and her husband, Josh, 28 male, since August of this year. I have known Nikki since middle school and Josh since high school, back in mine and fiance's hometown, Hell's Pit Stop, HP. I feel like we were fooled into the situation that we put too much trust in towards Nikki and Josh. By the way, this comes from Topaz Scorpio 96, and if you want to submit your own stories, just go to r/OKOP Storytime subreddit. So, for brief context, my fiance, again 29 male and I, 28 female, moved away from our shared hometown of HP in 2018. And since then, that town has been declining steadily. My fiance and I have accomplished so much, are finally done with college academics, have finally gotten into full-time careers, and are ready to tie the knot and begin a family here in our current city and my birthplace, Pine. As ready as we are, we have been diligently planning our finances and budget to make the next chapter come to fruition. I work a full-time job that utilizes my veterinary medical knowledge, and I run a side business that I network with my closest Pine friends. Been managing it since May 2023. My fiance works with law enforcement full-time with his newly started side gig as a delivery driver. We have very recently started to take in more overtime and side business reservations due to our recent and ongoing roommate drama. Nikki and Josh were my closest friends growing up in HB. Nikki and I have known each other since middle school and Josh since senior year in high school. Nikki and I share similar backgrounds of family dynamics, and Josh came from a very toxic household. Father's a thug, mother dealt with substance abuse and is now deceased 3 years ago. They met and started dating around the same time my fiance and I started dating in 2017, married in 2021, and have since not left HP until this year in August. I got engaged to my fiance in 2022, and we were hoping to be married by next November now that we're done with school and have careers lined up. However, that may not happen due to current circumstances that will require us to allocate our finances differently.
Uh-oh.
That's never good.
No.
To start, Nikki and Josh were experiencing a horrible landlord, had terrible roommates, were having low job prospects and growth, and were overall not very happy with quality of living in HP for a good while before summer started. After they visited for my graduation this past May, Nikki and Josh were really impressed by Pine. Nikki and I were in touch more often, and she would say she wished she could be there or able to leave our hometown to start anew and give her and Josh a fresh start. Within June, we were all passing back and forth the idea of helping Nikki and Josh join us in Pine, and we would be in a win-win situation as roommates that could help both parties launch forward with their respective goals in the next year or so. We were all so invested in the idea that my fiance and I made sure they simply understood that they are, 1, going to have to adjust to different seasonal climates, and we would help teach them. 2,
Average California.
yeah,
Why is it cold and wet on the ground?
I know, it's too cold. Number 2, be on top of handling their 2 small dogs, including household behaviors and socialization with our cat. 3, to please not adopt any more pets. They have geriatric rats.
Geriatric rats?
Really old rats.
We have a geriatric host that do that right.
I mean, technically, yes.
Yeah. You did. You
If you're
nailed it.
making a joke.
You
Yeah.
did nail it.
Good job.
And we cannot add more due to the cost of pet rent or risk of being fined. I don't know what number I'm on. 5, help maintain a clean home so as to avoid injury or illness for ourselves and our pets. And 6, simply be very open with communications with us about anything, as my fiance and I do work a lot and want to make sure we all get along, or if home problems arise. When I tell you we accomplished a ton in a short amount of time, I mean it. My fiance and I made arrangements to transfer our lease at our complex. I helped Nikki by paying for one of the dogs with the best temperament to be an ESA animal, partially to avoid having it rehomed due to the complex's pet limit. And I notified our local Pine friends for job leads to help Nikki and Josh to start applying ASAP. Nikki and Josh were to focus on ending their lease, job situations, and other tasks in HP. This was all done in June to July.
Is this
What?
Sorry, is
Yes.
this too much?
We're getting a lot of details.
A lot of information.
Yeah.
A lot of information. It seems like just to condense it, it
Please.
seems like OP and their partner have these two friends who they grew up with in their hometown, and their hometown kind of sucks. And so OP and
Pine.
partner, HP.
HP sucks.
OP and her partner moved to Pine, which is a lot better. And we're talking to their friends, Nikki and I believe Josh. Yes. Nikki and Josh. And Nikki and Josh were like, wow, Pine sounds great. And they talk a lot about it. And eventually they decide Nikki and Josh are going to move in. But they're like, hey, there are some ground rules. You just got to be really careful about the weather. There's going to be some stuff that you're not used to.
Yeah. We have
And
geriatric rats.
They have Josh and Nikki have geriatric rats.
Geriatric rats.
And so there's
Okay.
just a bunch of pet stuff that has to be figured out.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of
So
rules.
a lot of rules and things that need to be figured out before Nikki and Josh can move in. And that's where we're at.
Got an ICU. Also, if there's anything that's like not pertinent,
Yeah.
we got a lot of words in this story.
A lot of words.
So do what you do best
okay.
and read like the wind.
Fast forward to August. We transferred our lease from a studio to a 1-year lease in a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment with the complex we've been living in for the past 3 years. Best place to be, quiet, and most affordable in a university town. Nikki and Josh had to be convinced that this was a big money saver, $2,000 plus savings, compared to getting a whole new lease at a new place with high accompanying deposits and fees.
Okay.
Josh really griped about it as he wanted a more upscale luxury apartment, which was at a higher cost, less space, and charged rent fees for pets and parking.
What about
I also-
my geriatric rats?
Yeah, the rats. But also, I don't know if Josh can really be saying, I want a better place. Like, the whole point of them moving in with OP and her partner is that they can't afford it. So it's like, why are you trying to get a more expensive
I have no
place?
money, but I want to live in luxury with my geriatric rats.
It took some encouragement and reminders that luxury is not a need, but it could be achieved later if that's what they want. It seems like OP and her partner are like life coaches for Nikki and Josh.
Yeah.
They're like, this is how you have
Good
to live.
observation. Yeah.
We would help them learn how to budget and adjust living styles the best we can that rewards back generously. Nikki was all on board with whatever it took and was very much looking forward to it. But it should have been a warning sign with Josh in how reluctant with almost everything we had to do he was. At the beginning of August, Nikki came up with the dogs and secret rats first.
Now the secret rats.
Secret geriatric rat.
That's my new band name. Yo, let's hear some SGR.
So Nikki came up with the rats, the secret rats and the dogs. First, after resigning from her part-time job in HP. Josh was to follow in September once he was able to exit his full-time job with a big payout. Both worked in the same business. I cannot begin to express how enjoyable, peaceful, and fun it was to have only Nikki that whole month. She was a team player. She and I would cook with and for each other nearly every evening. We loved to cook and try new foods. Nikki was more inspired and driven to do and try anything in her job search. She was even considering returning to healthcare services or seek a new path in it for closure due to past traumatic experiences from HP. She joined us in a few local event outings, got to meet again with one of my closest Pine friends, and was really branching out and networking.
Doing great.
Nikki's killing it with those rats. Nikki, in simplest of ways of saying it, was hopeful, happy, and striving to really make the most of this new start. She was learning to be comfortable with her own company and would talk with Josh at the end of every day as it was their first time ever having to be apart longer than a day.
Quick sidebar, but
Yeah.
this is like probably the coolest thing ever.
Whoa.
Yo.
Secret Jerry.
Dude, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
This reminds me of The Great Mouse Detective. See what I'm talking about?
Ooh, you are. No, I'm thinking of the orange.
Stilton? Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. I also was thinking about that for a moment. But
Yeah.
but there also is The Great Mouse Detective.
Dude, this is a movie. I don't know about a man, but
That's
we should make
great.
a movie out.
Nikki was tapping into her arts and crafts, a hobby I encouraged her to have fun with and see potentially as her own side gig with Etsy and local craft markets / fairs. I was so happy to see her making healthier choices for herself and making changes to her lifestyle. She had a serious health scare before coming up to join us that leaves me still worried for her about having a potential stroke, thrombosis, embolism, and more at such a young age.
Oh,
Yikes.
no.
Then, like most things that almost seem too good to be true, Josh arrives a week later into September and things immediately take a downward spiral.
Here we go.
In all my years of having known my two friends, I feel like I am now living with a version of Nikki I cannot fully trust and a total a-hole of shadow version of Josh.
Whoa.
Nikki is now completely opposite of how she was in August, reverting back to old habits and being completely submissive to Josh with no backbone to stand up for herself, her needs, and what is principally right and wrong of Josh's actions and behavior. As for Josh, I know he still mourns in his own way the tragic loss of his mom. I deeply believe he needs to see a therapist to deal with his childhood, his grief, his current family dynamics, and seek help for his harsh negative adjustment in personality to these.
I get that, but why have a therapist when you have
Us.
geriatric rats?
Yeah.
They have all
Also,
the sage
yeah.
wisdom you'll ever need.
You should either have us in your life or a secret geriatric rats.
Yeah. Forgot
That's
the
all you
secret
got.
part.
Since he arrived at Pine, he's been behaving as if he didn't want to join us and Nikki, been ignoring us when we greet him or barely acknowledging us when Nikki is present, and definitely lazy and incompetent to the simple aforementioned agreements we made. Dirty dishes and cookware after using the kitchen, leaving food stuff out, not keeping up with their dogs or disciplining them when they act up or make a mess, except for our bedroom area. Their dogs have peed almost everywhere else.
Ooh.
That's us. Oh my God, that would piss me off. And on carpet to where it is stained for not being promptly or properly cleaned, pooping on the floor and couch, being highly reactive to anything outside, etc., and being problematic when invited to social gatherings. We started to keep to our room shortly after Josh's behavior when attending a social outing. In celebration of her not dying from a near fatal heart complication, my friend Bailey hosted a death anniversary dinner at her home in September. She extended the invitation to Nikki and Josh for them to join and see everyone again. That's an interesting party.
Wait,
Death
so it's
anniversary?
that
She didn't pass away. This friend Bailey.
friend Bailey.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sure. I thought
Power
it
to
might
you.
be an alive anniversary or something.
Yeah.
But hey, just semantics, I guess.
Yeah. My cat's name is Karen. Says, why take these people on like this? OP never should have sabotaged her life. Yeah,
Not
really
necessary.
quickly pausing. It does
Yeah.
seem like OP's kind of shocked by all of this, but we already kind of knew that they were, not doing necessarily that great, didn't have a lot of life skills because it seemed like OP and her partner were teaching them a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like we already knew they were pretty behind and pretty needy. So I feel like some of this stuff should have been a little bit expected.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, I think there's, it's great to be able to help friends with different things. And if someone's like, oh, hey, you've got it all together, show me your ways, whatever. Great, beautiful, get some coffee. Yeah. Do they have to live with you and you
Yeah.
be their free life coach?
Yeah. Don't need that.
You don't need to do it.
Yeah, they can still want to move to Pine without having to live with you.
Bingo.
Bailey further mentioned to me how her husband, who started his own business, would be interested in getting to know Josh better and potentially hire him as an apprentice.
Oh no.
There we go.
I don't know if I like that.
Nikki and Josh accepted the invitation to join us. I wish they hadn't, and saved Bailey the hassle that was about to follow. We arrived at the party, giving notice to Bailey we'd be an hour late due to work. The four of us walked in to see folks enjoying a meal, conversations, games, and Bailey's kids up to shenanigans, greeted with the group, hello, and grabbed some food while it's hot. And we came in and made ourselves comfortable. Nikki and Josh immediately secluded themselves to a corner on the sofa, Josh on his phone and Nikki crocheting her hobby. Neither would speak to anyone who came to join them on the couch, trying to make conversation, nor did they try Bailey and her husband's food or chili, cornbread, mac and cheese, and chips with dip. There's a feast over there and they're not even eating?
Get in on it.
They're not
Get
even
in.
eating?
Yeah, what do you fit in?
I had to prompt Nikki to try a bowl of food and join us at the table for some conversation. Josh refused to try any, saying he doesn't like what they made and was fine on the couch. This did add insult to injury with Bailey and her family. Bailey's husband is a good cook, and since her close encounter, Bailey has been supported by us and her family in trying healthier foods with her and for her heart. We have all tried recipes with her at get-togethers, and they've all been delicious so far that you wouldn't tell if it was vegan/vegetarian.
Nice.
Nikki joined everyone briefly with food and then quickly retreated back to where Josh was, still not moved or indifferent from his closed-off posture with his phone. Bailey tried to offer to get something for Josh when going out to pick up some dessert in town. He barely acknowledged her and didn't answer. Why is he being such an a-hole?
Yeah.
He's like,
Hey,
yeah, no.
you got it.
I'll be him. You be.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, you be him. I'll be. Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey, I know you didn't eat earlier, Josh, so I just wanted to heading out to the store. Do you want me to grab anything? No trouble at all. I just, Okay. I was thinking maybe I could grab, a little sandwich. Okay.
And scene.
And scene.
We did it.
There we go. It was kind of giving like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Well, Frankenstein's monster.
True. Important distinction.
He barely acknowledged her and didn't answer. So I went up to Josh and asked what it would be that he would like to have with us, since he didn't want to eat or drink anything and does not partake in drinking booze. When he was even being quiet to me, Nikki quickly said for him, soda or Coca-Cola would suffice. I relayed that to Bailey, who quickly got it with dessert for everyone. Josh refused to even have any of that. Bailey was offended and quietly gave up trying to host them. This is so rude.
So whack.
So whack. It feels a bit like Nikki is kind of, OP kind of said it before, but she's trying to, appease whatever Josh wants and is a bit like silenced and subdued, especially because we know how she was acting before Josh got there.
Yes.
So it does feel like not a healthy relationship.
Feels like a very unhealthy, dare I say, more
Geriatric.
unhealthy than a just like skin and bone shivering geriatric secret rat.
Secret.
Dare I say.
I think you should
Sicker
dare. I think you should dare.
Unhealthy.
The evening continued on for 2 hours, and not once did either Nikki or Josh make a peep or attempt to join the rest of the party. Why are they even there? What are they getting in Pine that is better than HP? I guess kind of like free life coaches, but
True.
They're not even taking their advice.
Also true.
Nikki only came up to me once to ask if I could unlock the car for Josh to grab his Game Boy/PS from her bag. What in the iPad kid is going on here?
Talk about it.
Nothing was in her bag, so I used this as a way to ask her quietly if she would like me to take her and Josh home, as I could tell they didn't want to be there. So astute, OP.
Yeah.
Nikki insisted we all stay, that she was having a good time, and that Josh was fine / having a good time. We stayed, but soon left after being there for an additional 30 minutes. It was the most silent and awkward drive home ever. My fiance and I tried to make small talk and engage them about the party, explaining Bailey's death-anniversary story to them. Yeah, also kind of like a meaningful party that they're just dunking on.
You're so right. You're so right.
Nikki was the only one interested and genuinely curious. Josh only sighed with exaggerated boredom the whole time.
Meh.
He sounds like a little teenager. He sounds like a moody teen. He's
A
playing
little
his
boy
video
baby.
games and he's like, I don't want anything to eat. It doesn't taste good.
Such like 8-year-old energy.
Yeah.
Just
Since then, my fiance and I began to keep to ourselves. We began to take on a lot of work in our careers and made long reservations for clients to care for their homes and pets. We would return home and spend time with our cat, Gremlin, my nickname for her, to avoid being insulted by Josh with his jokes. These jokes at first started off as friendly roast of us finally being home, but then they quickly started to be rude as they insulted how long we had to work or be away, insinuate that we neglect our cat, make horrendous jokes that we were racially or bigoted too much and too often, and like to pick on my fiance's computer setup. We don't have much as we hope to save household things for our planned home owning goals. Why are they just...
Josh sucks.
Josh freaking sucks.
Kick him out.
OP and her fiance did so much to help Josh and Nikki.
So much.
And are receiving just vitriol. Just terrible, terrible behavior. My fiance was the first to have enough of it and would retreat to our room and avoid Josh after working a long day with difficult people. I started to do the same, especially when returning from an overnight gig that kept me away for days or weeks. Our room became our safe haven. I began to cook less food as Josh wouldn't eat it, and Nikki fell back into habits of them eating out nearly every day for every meal. I stopped altogether come November.
Why are you making meals for him? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't. What do you mean?
This isn't your child. I mean, he is a child of a man,
He
but like,
is,
it's not
but, like,
your child.
It seems like OP's like, oh, I stopped cooking altogether, but it's like, no, you can keep cooking for yourself. Just say, I'm not cooking for you guys.
This is your house.
It's your house.
You invited them in.
Yeah.
Sophia, would you ever let a Josh stop you from cooking of which you love?
No.
Never. That's a no.
Also,
even let
if you
Josh
wanted to
in my
make some
house.
money, just be like, hey, if you guys want me to cook for you, it's going to cost X more a month, so you have
Yeah.
to pay X in rent in
Yeah.
order to get the service.
Exactly. We would
True.
try to greet Nikki and or Josh with little response. The times we would be in the living room to hang out would be brief or to enjoy our cat and their dogs playing together. How quickly even that pastime fell into eternal sleep alongside with how our cat nearly fell into eternal sleep from Nikki and Josh's negligence. Oh no. Our little gremlin, as she is so nicknamed for being a sassy tortoiseshell that loves to play pranks and play nonstop, got along so well with Nikki and Josh's dogs as they would play and chase each other, hang out in the living room when my fiance and I were home, and that gremlin would enjoy lounging around with them. We asked Nikki and Josh to supervise play between our pets when we were not home, when away at work, not to let Gremlin think she can be on the kitchen counters or dining table, as she does know better, and to make sure she and the dogs don't get into anything that'll hurt them. Simple rules, you would think.
So simple.
Simple rules.
Follow them.
We gave permission for them to let Gremlin out of our room to be with them and the dogs in the rest of the apartment. I guess that was simply too much to ask and expect of them. Uh-oh. In October and shortly before Halloween, Nikki and Josh returned from a road trip. Josh was recovering from an altitude-induced sinus congestion / head cold and brought back liquid cold medicine in a Ziploc bag. For 3 days, Josh had left that bag out on the kitchen bar top. I failed to see this due to me and my fiance having to work our side gigs that kept us away overnight for a few days, and we never went into the kitchen in avoidance of Josh. I meal prep every week, and we keep meals in our workplace fridges and at my overnight gigs, hence no need for us to enter the kitchen.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Does Josh take food? Why do they do that?
I think maybe to avoid him.
Yeah, I think they just literally don't want to see Josh or Nikki.
Like, it almost sounded like I stopped cooking because it's like, it almost feels that there's this expectation. If OP's cooking in the kitchen, then he's going to want to get some food or something.
Which-
OP feels compelled.
Which is weird, though, because it seems like Josh isn't even eating it. Like OP said, he's not even eating the food. So
Dude,
what's going on?
going on.
Unbeknownst to my fiance and I, until the morning of the 4th day, our cat came into contact with the cold medicine while unsupervised during play with the dogs.
But the kitty doesn't have a cold.
Which it goes against 3 of the rules they had. 1,
All in
not
one.
supervising the dog and the cat. 2, letting the cat onto the counters. And 3, letting the cat get into things that it's not supposed to. That night before, Nikki messaged me to tell me Gremlin was acting grumpy / very upset and had given her a hard warning nip to leave her alone. And not knowing and thinking Gremlin was being off due to hairballs of her winter coat growing in, I said for Nikki and Josh to leave her alone and put her back in our room. That following morning, my fiance went to change clothes for work and found Gremlin surrounded by vomit, acting needy and vocalizing and lying down. Not good. He called me while I was at work in a panic, sending me a video of how she was behaving. On his way out, my fiance told me he had bumped into Nikki and explained the situation to her. But she was more concerned about one of her dogs having a reverse sneeze. What does that even mean?
It's so dogs will do this thing. It's like it's a reverse sneeze, basically.
Then about why our cat was so sickly. He went into work as he couldn't call out, but my work let me leave early so that I could promptly get her in to see the vet as soon as I could, knowing this was urgent. Gremlin was stable enough for me to come home and pick her up. I found her in our room with more vomited bile, signs that she had not eaten from her auto feeder in the last 12 to 18 hours, and her lying lateral and vocalizing to me her discomfort. Gums were pale and tacky, her heart beating so fast from stress. She wouldn't even accept her favorite snack for me to gauge her interest in food. Once at the vet, we went back and forth over what it could be. Pancreatitis, colitis, gastritis, constipation, or even unknown, undiagnosed IBD or renal disease.
I don't like any of those sounds
those
of those things.
Yeah, those all sound terrible.
Yeah.
Once Gremlin could be sedated for her fear, aggression, and pain, I ordered baseline blood work and x-rays to be done. While we waited, her vet and I further discussed what she may have gotten into. I admitted to the vet that Gremlin is curious, loves to explore and check out things by touch, taste, and scent, so she could have gotten into something left out or within her reach, not within our bedroom. Upon the vet's recommendation, searched the apartment for what could be the likely cause. With the baseline established, it was seen that Gremlin had an abnormally enlarged spleen, a dropped potassium level shot to hell, a peculiar effusion around her heart, and was very dehydrated.
Wow.
A lot going wrong with this cat.
So many details.
We have geriatric rats and a very sickly cat.
Very sickly cat.
Ooh, Kimberly finds his dark gums lack of oxygen. Ooh.
Yeah, the gums tell all.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
As her symptoms were so onset under 24 hours, it was unsure what to do and what to risk. I had the option of keeping her hospitalized there, but she wouldn't have a tech with her, and the money for it was not worth it. $1.5K plus per 24 hours.
Yep. Over $1,500 a day. Yep.
Dang.
That's about right.
Because of that, or transferring her to another vet clinic that offers staffed overnight hospice, $3K plus a day. Oh my God. It was all becoming costs I knew we couldn't afford on top of our additional debt. After weighing the facts, known then with my cat's results, what I knew and what could be done, and the risk, I got my cat stabilized with supportive care and took her back home. I had my fiance take over my gigs for me so that I could be with her overnight and monitor. Once home, I got her comfortable in her bed and put cat TV on YouTube. That's nice.
Oh, that's cute.
That same afternoon, I searched the apartment high and low for what she could have gotten into. I had found at first Clorox wipes and a disinfectant spray left on the ground by the dog's crate situated by the front door. Well, that's not a good sign.
I don't like the sound of that.
That's a bad sign. When looking around higher up, I found the Ziploc bag on the counter. And boy, did I see the glaring true problem of why my cat was being so sickly. Inside that bag was leaking cold medicine. Bad. That same bag I found to have evidence of my cat having bit the edges out of curiosity. Couldn't have just put away your medicine.
No, we can't just close a bag and place said bag. You know what? Don't even close it. Just place it out of reach.
Place it
At least
anywhere else. That's just crazy. That's crazy to me.
Bro's about to run up $10,000+ of medical bills.
Ooh, yeah.
For this cat.
Ooh, yeah. I saw red and felt so much rage having found this out, feeling sick that this was within her reach. I had no idea if Nikki and Josh were home. It is difficult nowadays to tell as they always leave their dogs out unsupervised and their door shut when away from work or home, which probably is not great because these dogs are peeing everywhere.
True. They're pee everywhere else except for our room.
Yeah, they're like, we close our door and then we open your door and let them pee there. I angry cried on the kitchen floor for a good while before I could text my fiance what I found. It took every ounce of rationality and self-control to not break down their bedroom door and charge in screaming. But I knew they wouldn't like or take accountability if I did erupt like that on them. I knew how Nikki would react and how Josh would shut it down.
Yeah, hey, whoa, don't pin this on me.
John's shutting it down.
I'm innocent and have no geriatric rats.
Not a single geriatric rat.
Not a single one.
In sight. I collected myself, calmed down, and sent a message to Nikki and Josh in our roommate chat that I needed to talk to them about my cat and what was going on. Put your foot down, OP. Put it down.
Put it down.
20 minutes later, Josh returns home from his work, ignoring and avoiding eye contact with me while I stand in the kitchen watching him, walking straight to their bedroom and shutting the door. Then they both emerge, awkward and quiet. It reminded me of how my siblings were nervous before scolding from our parents. I explained everything to Nikki and Josh of what Gremlin was going through and what I had just deduced it to. what I hope to be a very mild toxicity poisoning of acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. Say it one more time.
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. That's a fun word. That she came into contact with by biting the Ziploc bag Josh had left out, containing leaked cold medicine that bursted from altitude change.
Also, Kimberly found, okay, maybe this isn't accurate, but Kimberly Fine said, who the F keeps liquid cold medicine in a bag? But it was a burst.
It seems like it had broken, yeah.
Right, and he maybe had the plastic bag around it in case it did.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
yeah.
more understandable.
But it seems like we have just every one of the rules that OP had set forth for Nikki and Josh just completely ignored.
Because you know what? Maybe, we've all been there unpacking. You leave things out. Maybe you forget to put them away.
Yeah.
But had they been observant, had they just watched the cats.
Yeah, that's the thing. They left the cat. Like OP said, oh, you can either leave it in my room or let the cat out if you're, observing.
Oh, and yeah, OP mentioned it.
Yeah, just completely.
Come on.
The entire time I was speaking to them, only Nikki maintained eye contact and concerned interest while Josh stayed just out of my line of sight towards their bedroom. He sounds like a child. So Nikki is here and she's like, yeah. No, of course. I'm so sorry. And then Josh is like in the background. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Sure.
He's like holding a geriatric rat. He's like, my rats would never drink cold medicine.
Me and Gerald, the secret geriatric rat, are freaking over this. Or Geronimo.
Geronimo Stilton.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Only when I showed Nikki the bag did she turn to him and tell him to take his things and put it away. After a brief snort to show he didn't like that, Josh grabbed the bag and immediately started inspecting it. This whole interaction, in summary, went as follows. Jay, she must have bitten the bottleneck and lid. Removes the 2 bottles to look at more closely. Me, her mouth isn't that big. She didn't chew on the bottle, and that's not her habit with anything in a plastic bag. With cardboard boxes and bags, she nibbles on the edges to enjoy how it crunches or feels, even rubbing her face on them to scent mark. Jay, I doubt it. Nikki, honey, the bottle isn't chewed on. There's literally stuff all over them from when leaking. There's liquid in the bag.
Dude, a cat opening a medicine bottle is absolutely ludicrous.
It's child locked. I can hardly open a medicine bottle.
Yes.
It's really difficult.
Dude.
Jay shrugs his shoulders and puts the bottles in the sink, taking the one leaking open, which hisses from air pressure. Me. Hear that? That is air pressure releasing. It has been slowly pushing the medicine out since you guys came back a few days ago. Jay, yeah, I guess. Puts bottle back into the sink and raises the Ziploc bag up to the light. What holes? Me. Points along the bag's edge to obvious holes in the plastic. Jay then takes the Ziploc bag to fill in the kitchen sink with water.
Here we go.
Bag immediately fills and leaks from various holes around the edge. Nikki, oh crap. Jay, well, there's holes. There's holes in your brain, dude.
That's so
There's holes
true.
in your brain.
Arr.
This is ridiculous. Why are they still living with you? Why are they still here?
Facts.
I'm pissed off.
Right.
Me. I told you Gremlin came onto the counter unsupervised at some point yesterday and bit the bag. She got some residue in her mouth and now she's sick. This conversation quickly ended with him not saying anything or even an apology. He went into the room and shut the door while Nikki and I made sure nothing else was within reach for the dogs to get into. That first night, I stayed up with Gremlin to make sure she pulled through. I timetabled exactly when to medicate her. I had to take her to another vet with ER care the second day after her first visit, where she was further diagnosed with a stress-induced UTI and put on more medication. For 2 weeks, she recovered slowly, and my fiance and I stayed secluded in our room when we could be home and shifts to be with her. Our cat was on a soft food diet for a month as she had esophagitis from the bile eroding and irritating the muscular layers of her throat. Man, oh man, that cat has a lot going on with it.
This cat has got a lot going on.
Just a
Sophia.
PSA about, not letting your cats have access to cold medicine.
I've seen a lot of medical information about cats, but this is I'm at a loss here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. There's a lot of medical stuff going on with this cat.
Yeah.
You could fill your own Reddit post with stuff that's going on with this cat. Since the incident, Josh has avoided us and ignored us as usual. Conversations with Nikki were strained, even at a sit-down talk 2 weeks after the incident to discuss what transpired and to confront the massive elephant in the room. Josh put on a show and still did not apologize or show real repentance.
Dude, to the streets.
Kick him out. Kick him out, please.
Put him where the young rats are.
Yeah.
On the streets, in the freaking gutter.
Keep the secret geriatric rats, because I
Yeah.
feel like they'll bring you secrets or something.
Yeah.
They'll fulfill their duty.
Exactly. Their geriatric wisdom.
In a more private conversation with Nikki, since she was the only one I could be honest with and whom my fiance felt would be open to it, we asked that she talk to Josh about reimbursing us for half or all of the $3,000 spent on Gremlin, which I think is like pretty fair because they are the reason why the cat is so sickly.
Yeah.
And they don't even care.
Don't care. It's so avoidable. All that.
Yeah.
Dude, if you really want to get back at them, cats and rats.
Not the geriatric rats. But they're a secret that the cats wouldn't know.
Oh,
They
dude,
can't
you're right.
possibly know about these geriatric rats.
What if one of them is like the cat is Tom and then it's Jerry the geriatric rat?
Whoa. This is like when they're really
Just saying.
old.
Exactly.
Good show.
Nikki agreed wholeheartedly that it was only right that they did, but she would need to talk to Josh about it first and let us know ASAP.
Josh ain't gonna say nothing.
Josh is going to be like, we don't owe them money. This is ridiculous.
I don't freaking care, man.
What was that?
Since then, a whole month has passed with more occurrences in the interim. Nikki has not given us any updates nor spoken to us. She and Josh continue to leave a mess in the kitchen. Their dogs unsupervised and loose in the apartment and have made little effort to work with us in between maintaining the apartment. Between shifts, collecting OT, and working our gigs, my fiance and I clean the apartment at night in the late hours, early morning. We were paranoid our cat would relapse or have delayed health problems, but she thankfully hasn't. That's good.
Thank God.
How much did she have of that cold medicine?
I mean,
Yeah, how much does it take to make a cat get sick?
Well, she was lapping at
probably
it. So.
not much. I'm guessing like a lot of the bottle spilled to where it was like pooling right at
Yeah.
the bottom of the bag. So if she kind of just like got all that out, then
She's done. That's it.
like maybe like half of like a serving of those cups or so.
Yeah.
Something like
That
that.
makes sense. Gremlin has since been kept within our room, basically her room now, with everything she needs and one or both of us being home with her every night. Nikki and Josh no longer have permission to enter our room or interact with her. Gremlin has not left our side and avoids Josh when he happens to be out at the same time as us. Gremlin only ever leaves our room when we are home to watch her. With my feelings of betrayed trust and disgust, and my fiance's anger towards Josh, we have agreed to do whatever it takes to afford our first home by next summer with our jobs and side businesses. Yeah, he's like, we need to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they need to get out of there?
Well, so basically, I think they went in on the cost of this place that they're living at
Yeah.
with Josh and Nikki, and so now they're like, okay, yeah, we can't live with them anymore, so let's get our own place.
Let's use that to save up to frickin' get our own place and say, see you later.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
If Nikki and Josh do not repay us, we are considering taking them to a small claims court. We made plans to potentially forego a wedding with family and friends and elope. Yeah, I mean, like, you're about to spend some money.
Yeah.
And also, you spent $3,000. So if you don't get that $3,000 back, you better go out fighting.
Come on,
That's
man.
all I got to say.
Come on.
As much as it was becoming a fun plan B to that milestone due to family drama, it now has a solemn tone of its reality, adding on to our anticipation and joy in soon becoming husband and wife. That's great, but it sucks that, your joy is being somewhat dampened.
Oh, 100%. Also, not to add more details to this story, but Prince X did make a good comment. A 25-pound baby can only have 5 milliliters. That's like nothing.
Whoa,
That's like just
okay.
covering the bottom of his little plastic cups. So if a cat had that much, or dare I say more, like 2 or 3 times that amount,
Not good.
it's not good.
Good. I will be happy to marry either way, but we wish this wasn't driven under these collected circumstances. To add to my disgust and mistrust, I grieve for a friendship being lost with Nikki and what no longer exists with Josh in any capacity. I arranged for Nikki and I to have a girls' night out before Christmas, something I know is much needed but necessary. Also, Riley, what I need is a cup of water. Please.
The queen requires water.
My
Thank
throat is dying.
you.
Ah.
How much more story we got?
We're over halfway through.
Wow.
We got
Like
a chunk.
60%?
Yeah, maybe 70.
Nice.
Yeah, let's take a pause.
Let's pause.
Because I read a lot.
You did.
Waiting for an update that never came.
It's just a stream of consciousness.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that they do need to get out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
They should basically press charge. Like, I think they'll kind of need to, honestly. Like, might as well just get ahead of it at this point, because
Yeah.
I think
Well, they've been so awful this whole time.
yeah. And it's
just
like,
you're not saving the friendship.
and if you don't do that, then they can waffle around and, kick the can down the road, or at least Josh can. Maybe she goes like kind of along with it too. But I think you basically be like, yo, give us his money. We'll file the claim. And then honestly, potentially even see if you can get him kicked out sooner.
I would see, because like maybe there's something with the lease or you can break the lease or get them to get out.
Something.
But I think maybe the issue is that they can't afford the lease all by themselves. So, because that's why they want to move into a like kind of a less expensive place. What did you get?
Hey.
Where is that from? Looks good. All About a Unicorn says these people are the worst. Teach them a lesson. And characters that I can't read says they don't deserve to be pet parents if they're disregarding OP's situation. Exactly.
Oh,
True.
heck no.
Exactly. My cat's name is Karen says they're going to have to legally evict them, which will take months. So it might, like, by the time that they go through that whole process, which I'm assuming it would be expensive, the lease will probably be up anyway.
Do we go for more?
More what?
Like,
More money?
Let's just even it up. Let's just round up to 10 grand.
Let's just do a sweet 5K.
I don't
Yeah.
even know if they have two freaking pennies to rub together.
Yeah.
Oh, heck no.
I doubt they do. Like, it doesn't
Ooh.
seem like they're really working
Maybe go
that
for a little
much.
Here we go. 3K, but Josh has to volunteer at pet shelters, making them happy.
Yeah, you have to do community service
Yep.
because you almost unalived our cat.
I like that.
And also it teaches him how to take care of pets, which he clearly doesn't know how to do.
Ooh.
But there's more to this story.
You got this. Do what you do best. Read
Yes.
like the wind.
We need to know what is going on. And if Nikki was ever able to talk to Josh, I feel like she will defend Josh regardless, which is disheartening to think about. Yeah, it seems like she's pretty, subdued around Josh. I don't know what else to say. I just had to vent it here. I understand I may be the a-hole in some Reddit subs, but I have read and witnessed enough animal negligence cases of ignorant animal caretakers, boarders, and pet sitters who are held accountable, very similar to the same cases in which I know Nikki and Josh would be held at fault as they had our cat under their care and supervision with our permission when we were away at work. If this were one of their dogs that had occurred to under our watch, Josh and Nikki would have been equally as upset and distraught, and rightfully wanting reimbursement and penance. Or, heaven forbid, if this was a child of ours under their watch, this would be a horror, and I'm sure I would be in jail.
Ooh.
I'm a mix of emotions typing this late at night while sick in bed with a cold beside my fiance, who is asleep for a couple hours before he starts deliveries. We are so overwhelmed and overworked and overstressed, having been working nonstop since October. I just hope we find our starter home soon to begin our new chapter and for our little gremlin so that she can run around and look outside windows whenever she'd like without us having to worry if someone left out potentially harmful things that shouldn't be left out. If you read this far, I appreciate your patience in doing so.
You're welcome.
You're so welcome. I don't know what else to say or how to explain everything wrong with this setup. I am open to answering questions and hopefully giving any update to those that are interested. Wowee!
Oh my
There's an
gosh.
update, but I have never read anything that long that wasn't like multiple updates.
Yeah.
That was one post.
Where was this posted?
Yeah, how did they get it through?
Yeah. Who allowed this?
Who let this person write this long booty post?
Is this
Who
as
let
bad
the
as
rabbit out?
who? Is this as bad as a bicycle guy?
No, I think it was relevant information. It was just in a lot.
It was kind of bad, but no one's as bad as
No one's as
No,
bad as that.
no,
yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
no.
It was
Box
just like
boy.
I feel like I was talking to a doctor or maybe a vet.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, "This is what's going wrong with your cat." But first, to understand what's going wrong with your cat, we must talk about where this all started.
Oh my.
Josh and Nikki. But there is an update. I think you just need to like sue Josh and Nikki.
Sue them. Dude, you know how awkward it'd be to sue them and they also live with you?
I wonder if that's
So true.
Yeah,
Hey, let's
can you-
carpool to the courthouse real quick.
Can you? I mean, like, I don't see why not, but can you sue someone that you're actively living with?
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm in
Is there
court
any
with,
sort of conflict of? I guess maybe that's for.
I'm in court with Christian right now.
Whoa,
Yeah.
how's that going?
I need to get my lawyer figured out. I was gonna represent myself because
Oh.
I'm a pretty good lawyer.
Yeah, sure.
ChatGPT and me, I can figure out anything. You know?
Anything, dude.
But I stole an egg without its permission, and we're figuring that out.
Whoa, yeah.
Small-
There's no eggs anywhere.
No eggs, and he had
Mhm.
so many, and I was like, "Can I have one?" And then I took it and didn't have his permission.
And you found out.
Found out.
But there is an update.
Oh!
Goodness
Let's
gracious.
get into it. If you've read my first post, that's the first long post. That is an understatement. BFFs turn roommates. Now a big regret on the situation regarding my growing disaster of roommates drama. This is my first update so far for it. Right before Christmas and the holidays, Nikki, 28 female, and I, 28 female, finally had a much needed girls only one-on-one time to talk and catch up. I gave up trying to ease a conversation with her at home when Josh would make it difficult for her to be open with me whenever he was present. I took initiative and I messaged her to set up a time and place to talk that worked with our schedules. We got together excited for a Friday night girls' dinner. Once together, we addressed so much and openly talked about the apartment dynamics and tension. It was such a great 4.5 hour long hangout. Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Y'all really chatted.
I could do 4.5 hours with some people.
I mean, most of my friends hang out for like 4.5 hours.
Doing what?
Do tons of things. What do you mean? How long do you hang out with your friends? Like an hour?
No.
43 minutes
Yeah.
and no longer.
No longer, no
That's
shorter.
it.
That's all they get. You
How
know.
long does it take to consume 3 steaks consecutively? That is the time.
That is the only time I get to hang out with my friends.
I'm spending like half a day with my friends.
What is that in steak time?
That's
Please
like
measure.
that's
Are
like
you
six
including the grilling
steaks.
part or just the eating part?
It's like 6 steaks, grilling included.
From season to
Consumption.
digestion.
Yeah.
Yes. Are they frozen beforehand?
No. No, that's important. They're already thawed.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was such a great 4.5 hour long hangout that it really showed how much I missed being able to talk with Nikki like this since Josh arrived in September. It was also a sad reminder of how big of a problem it is with them and why it shouldn't be this difficult to talk with someone I was once so very open with.
I think we're going to get a lot more about Josh here in a second.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
What's the tea on him?
it seems like he's a little bit, I mean, more than a little bit, but like abusive with Nikki. And
Really?
It's really, yeah. Like the fact that she doesn't feel open, to talk to OP. It
Facts.
seems like she's always trying to kind of cover for Josh's behavior. And she's like, oh, it's okay. Like, just get him this. And she's always, like doing whatever Josh needs.
At a minimum, emotionally. and
Yes,
whatnot,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any proof of like anything physical, but like emotionally, it seems. I aired my worries and grievances to Nikki regarding how difficult it has been trying to get to know this new version of Josh, who I now consider a complete stranger with understandable problems to a point, and is now not a person I see as a friend at this time. I shared honest opinions and thoughts with her when she asked, and her vice versa with me. No feelings were hurt, and obvious relief that we could be open with each other was very evident. It was so great to hear Nikki acknowledge that there are many things wrong she needs to address, and there are things that Josh needs help with. Nikki 100% agreed Josh needs therapy and really needs to work on himself, as she herself is feeling drained, being the only person he talks to about anything and everything. Nikki knows that she cannot fully help without bias with him. She openly said how tired she is of being the middleman when problems arise for them. Yeah, she's having to do everything for Josh.
Okay, I know we're about to go, but like, how many months of therapy can Josh go to before we break up with him?
Well, it depends on how effective the therapy is.
Yeah.
40 consecutive steak consumptions of therapy.
Yeah. Just forever therapy.
Like, if he's going for 3 months and we're seeing like improvement,
well,
is that good?
Yeah.
Or like if he's going for 3 months and it's still the same person,
I think, yeah, you would absolutely break up with him.
break up with him?
Yeah. Because, like, if he's not
It's
even
not healthy.
changing, come on. Then we got to the serious topic I really wanted an update and reason for. Are you both able to help reimburse us for some or all of our cat's gremlin emergency bills? If so, what works for you, and why haven't you given us an update? And if not, why? Nikki explained to me that she had talked to Josh a few days after our big sit-down all together back in November. She brought up to him what my fiancé, 29 male, and I asked. According to her, Josh initially said, "No, she's not our cat and not our problem. But you caused the problem." Never forget the secret geriatric rats. Those are his problem.
Yeah.
After persuading him to understand more of why it was principally right to help pay us back some or all of it, Nikki reminded Josh how it was their fault our cat gremlin got into the cold medicine that they had left out for days while under their supervision and care. Only then did Josh finally agree that they would pay us back once they, referring mostly to Nikki than about them both, have better jobs to make those payments.
I don't like that.
Don't like that at
There's
all.
literally no guarantee. You might be stuck in your freaking
Yeah.
dookie job for the rest of your life, and I
Yep.
got no
No,
money.
no. You got to keep giving me money.
Yep.
And you're also freaking living with us, and like we're giving you all of this help and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
give us some money.
But what I do,
What?
be like, okay, I understand you can't make payments. Let's do a little financial audit.
Yeah.
What are we paying where? Oh, let's cancel that and pay that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just something. Like $50. Something, just a little bit.
You know how we cut costs? Get rid of the rats.
Ooh. Or, yeah. I was going to say get rid of Josh, but that wouldn't help.
That probably would help.
Sell the rats.
So,
Josh.
On the geriatric secret rat market. And Josh, too, because
Josh.
he's basically a secret geriatric rat himself.
Do you know how much those secret geriatric rats would go?
dude,
A pretty penny.
Pretty
with some
penny.
good marketing behind it, shoot,
Mhm.
millions.
Yeah, we've already got we already have a cover for them.
We really do.
Nikki reassured me she would be more than willing to start paying us back in monthly payments starting next month of the new year. I accepted her offer, wanting to do this, saying we would be fine with $250 per month for 4 months for the partial reimbursement, which is what my fiance and I were fine with. Or have payments for the entirety done in 6 months of $400 per month. Nikki adamantly said she wants to pay for the whole thing, which is, again, about $3,000. Well, it's been a week into January of 2025, and she has not communicated with me about her payment, nor tried sending one alongside their dues for rent. In fact, she asked for an extension on their half for rent and utilities.
Yup.
So now they can't even pay rent.
That sounds about mother frickin' right.
Saying she needs to wait until Josh is paid for them to be able to make payment. Neither I or my fiance can understand where their money is going, that they cannot even do a base rent of their half of $1,000 flat. But I digress. Ugh. Between September and now, too much has happened with very little effort for them to fix it with us or make amends. Too many small instances of microaggressions and purposeful incompetence, mainly from Josh the Nikki, has been making this living situation nearly impossible to finish our lease with them. Just like say, no, you can't have an extension.
Yeah.
Like you have to pay it or you have to leave. Just put your foot down, man.
Get out. And you could probably find better roommates.
Oh, yeah.
Evict them, you get better roommates.
Absolutely. With being nearly 2.5 to 3K down and behind schedule of our plans and saving up for our first home or wedding because they got our cat nearly fatally ill, I am researching small claims to see if it was even worth pursuing. Most of our local Pine friends agree that we should not let this go lightly and attempt small claims. Some of our family members are saying we shouldn't keep pursuing, as Josh and Nikki will still more than likely not pay, and that this has already broken our trust and my friendship with them.
Yeah.
To which I agree. My friendship with Nikki is fractured and keeps being so. And any chance of renewed friendship with Josh is non-existent now. If we still somehow are able to reach our goal to have a down payment towards our first home ready with pre-qualifications and loan needs met, I am heavily considering going no contact with Josh and low contact with Nikki. I don't even want them to know where we may potentially live.
What? I thought that's
Hide
already.
it.
Wait, sorry, what'd you say?
Hide it. Hide. Do not tell them where you live. Don't do it.
Facts.
I think OP's just saying, like, whenever we are able to move out, I'm just not going to talk to these people ever again.
Got it. But
Except
they're
for
already doing that, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they still have to talk to them because they live with them, but
Yeah. Sorry. Also, it'd be really hard to hide your address from them because what if you have mail? Where are you going to tell them to forward it to?
Eat the mail.
Yeah. With elopement being a strong but happily accepted option, a celebration later with family and close friends is being thought of too. But I will not extend that invitation of celebration to Nikki and Josh. I feel like they had a window of opportunity to really make amends with us about this and work through this, and they did not take it nor do so seriously. They literally have taken advantage of our friendship and have ruined a lot of opportunities for themselves coming here to join us in Pine. My fiance and I are still working OT on our side jobs / gigs in our downtime from our full-time jobs. I work 100 hours a week, 20 hours is OT at my job, then an additional 20 to 40 hours with my side business.
it.
What?
What? Like,
There are 164 hours in a week, right?
yeah. That is like
How?
you are barely sleeping. Like,
How?
How are you? How are you traveling?
maybe she's counting the. Is she maybe counting the time when she like cat sits and does like
Probably.
pet walk?
No idea.
I don't know.
Dang, girl.
My fiance works his 40 to 45 hours a week with his side business as an additional 20 to 45 hours. Yeah, that's a little bit, I mean, still crazy, but yours is insane.
Let's hope that dough's big.
Feeling stressed is an understatement right now, as not only do we need to stay on top of what happens at work and our own payments and dues, but we are practically the maids or apartment cleaning fairies, as my fiance likes to half-heartedly joke, of a shared space trying to keep this place livable and hygienically safe for all of us to be there. We both don't feel like going back home after working all day or night. We don't like leaving our cat shut in our room all the time, even if we are home. And we have really given up on making efforts to befriend or be cordial to Josh when nothing is reciprocated. With this update, I constantly wonder, am I the a-hole? Would I be the a-hole? What else can I do? I hope to have a more positive update / post later, maybe in the next couple of weeks or months. Even if no one has been reading my situation, I feel some stress relief being able to share what's happening to us. So thank you to those that have read this. And there is another update.
Is it long?
Hold on.
Seems like it.
So it seems like OP and her partner have found a new place.
Nice.
And they're slowly gathering their things to move out. And they're trying to figure out what they should do in terms of, like, should they break the lease? Should they wait until the lease ends naturally? I think OP wants to kind of do the, like, pay the vet bill themselves and take them to small claims court, it seems.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, facts.
Yeah. And that's kind of it.
Just tying a bow on it. Like,
Let's
was
do it.
OP the a-hole? Did she make the right moves?
Only for making us read this long story.
A-hole for making us read it. Not an a-hole in other aspects.
Yeah. No, I would say not an a-hole for, like, anything that you're going about in terms of trying to break the lease or trying to get them out or making them pay for the cat. But I would say just in the future, when you have friends who are clearly not really don't have their life sorted out, maybe don't live with them.
Sometimes whenever, like, we made this whole situation in the house work out, I'm kind of baffled that it worked out so well.
So well.
Because we read stories like this of people
yeah.
getting together and it's just horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're working, living, and partying together.
Yeah.
And it just seems like,
Riley's one of
don't
my
understand.
best friends.
aw, I'm glad I'm one of your best friends.
Mm-hmm. And we just we still and we live together and we work together.
Yeah, Sophia's definitely my like best go-to girlfriend right here. Like,
well, there's kind of like an added thing there.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, like honestly,
just say I'm one of your best friends.
Top 3, heck yeah. I'm not gonna order them, but yeah, top 3. Well, top 5 for sure. There's so many.
Gender is a construct.
We got 2 of my best friends in the room.
That's insane.
Right
I'll take top 3.
Yeah.
I'll even take top 5.
I'm just blessed to be here with. I'm just glad it worked out coming to California.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, anyways, but still, this is crazy that they just became nightmares.
Yeah, sucks.
Not
for
really
you.
nightmares. I'd say like just don't do it. They're sloths. They just don't do anything. They're just like
they just sit there and they're like they're teenagers.
Teenage.
That's
the word.
Yeah.
That's the word.
But that is the end of that story.
So, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow.